Okay, let me just jump to the, let me just look at a couple of these. We'll just look at one or two of these and then we'll go right to the homework. And so I'm going to post solutions to this. And I think some of this we can do here. But basically, like here, so like here, we're going to print, so you might have a program. I don't think I actually did anything about this in the notes, but I think one of the units in the Xi book is, yeah, sometimes you have to have multiple, you have like different conditions that don't lead, well, that don't lead to if, like else if, you just have if. So like here, if Z isn't, so number's even, if it, we have to compare it to, we have to divide, we have to look at the remainder when dividing by 2. And then just something like this.
Are you wanting us to see your screen? Because right now we don't.
Oh, because absolutely. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is really not helping you at all. Sorry about that. It's just very inexperienced. Probably got, okay, let's, I think this is the one I want to share. No, this is not the one. Okay, let me, this is an older file here. So let me see here. Do I have this? Okay, now it should be, thank you for reminding me. Compound boolean expression. Yeah, sure, this is the one. Yeah, so yeah, this I think I put this file up this morning into the module print line. Yeah, so here we have these independent Boolean expressions. I mean, and we have these independent conditions. Else if isn't going to work for this. Like you want to know if a number is even, and we also want to know is it also maybe a multiple of 7? You know, some numbers are like 21 is a multiple of 7, but it's not even. But you know, some numbers are both, like 14 even and a multiple of 7. And also greater or equal to 100. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have these independent. So here you would not use. Here you would not use the L. So multiple of 7. We're going to have to once again check to see you divide by 7. This is the only way you can check to see if it's a multiple by 7. You have to look at the remainder. You divide by 7. If the remainder is 0, then it's a multiple of 7. We'll just do this one, and then we'll get to the homework. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah. So Z is greater than 100. Whoops. Yeah, so I'm just saying sometimes you have to have independent. Okay, so I'll post the solution to this when I post your quiz tomorrow, and it's just and then you can always write me or make an appointment for an office hour appointment. Let's just try one of these, like 4A. So so you just want to write a compound Boolean expression. So you can have age. This would be the first one, age greater than 13. I can't type. And age. That's all I'm asking for there. Yeah, the previous one, we just have to plug in to see whether the Boolean expression is true or false. Here, I keep saying, I'm not going to, let's just do one more and then we're going to do the assignment. Okay, suppose y is an int variable. So we're going to write an if-else statement that increases y by 10 if y is greater than 100 and decreases y by 2 if y is less or equal to 100. So here we can just go if y, first let's check to see if y greater than 100. And then we can go y. So remember, you always start on the right side of an assignment statement. So so you see that kind of weird, what looks like a very bad equation, y equals y plus 2. What it really means is assign y plus 2 to y. So you start on the right side of the assignment statement, you evaluate y plus 2, and you assign it y. So let's say you had something here, like, let's say y started out as 50. How about, I'm sorry, let's say you had y, and it started out as 200. So this would, so now you'd have y would now be 202. Right? Because 200 plus 2 is 202, and then you assign that to y. And then else, and we don't need to check we don't need an else if, because it's mutually exclusive. I'll fix that E. And then what if we're going to decrease y by 2? Oh, I'm sorry, increase y by 10. I'm sorry, increase y by 10. So now it actually would be 210, and decrease y by 2. Okay, let's say I say y starts out at 200. So it said, write an if else statement that increases y by 10 if y is greater than 100. And that's what we did there. If y is greater than 100, you increase y by 10. And that's how you increase it. That's all you got to do is y equals y. It looks like y equals y plus 10. But the best way to read it is y plus 10 is assigned to y. You evaluate y plus 10, which is 210, and assign that to y. Else, assign y minus 2 to y, and that would decrease the value of y. So if y was it started out at 20, then you would actually subtract 2 from 20 and assign y equals 18. So any questions on this worksheet? But I'll let you review it, and then you can ask me questions if you want. But yeah, I encourage you to look at it today. But is it okay to go to the assignment? So there's a programming assignment due on Wednesday. And I think if you look at, this is what I want to make sure everyone sees. I'm going to share, okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to share my screen. And I want to make sure I have the right file up. Yes. So I have this example that I put up here. Let me just share the screen now. And let's see here. So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to share Eclipse. And I think this is what I put up before. I think, so students, if you haven't started the assignment yet, I encourage you, just install, create an Eclipse project, or that, what did I show you, that JDoodle if you don't have Eclipse, and just run this program. This probably gives you a really good head start. And then, Richard, I think you're almost done. Is that correct? Or I just wanted, did this file help you or not, or did this example help you?
No, it does. I was just working the first part.
Okay, but do you see here how I'm entering 5, 3, this time, so this program is different. I'm entering the length of a square, and it's being entered as a double. I'm defining it as a double. And then I'm printing out the perimeter, the diameter, and then the area. Okay, and then what probably is hard for a lot of us, so here, this example here should really help you, because what you want to do is read in a radius in inches. So you're going to read, the radius is going to be initially an integer, and then you're going to convert that to centimeters. So when you convert it to centimeters, it becomes a double, because I think you multiply by 2.54. And then you print out, you print out the original radius in inches, the radius in centimeters, I think the volume and the surface area. And the formulas are in the assignment, but it's kind of similar to here where you're printing out 4 things, and you want to have a header. And if we look at this line 32, well, first of all, you're going to start out with something like I did. You're going to declare 5 radii. And then you have to declare a screener variable, or that scanner variable. You're going to ask the user for an integer, or like enter for a radius, but you read it in as an int because it's going to be instead of a double, but you declare 5 radii and then you read them all in, and then you just print, then you just do stuff like I have there on lines 34 through 36. But except the formulas are going to be different. And then the header on line 32 will be different. So let me just show you something, student. Oh yeah, okay, so no, and these print statements should be similar, like these formatted print, which I know it's kind of tricky, but I think if you use this as a format, and the only thing I'll tell you is let's look at line 34. Yeah, let's look at line 32 first. Do you see all those S's? You see percent and then an S. Percent and then it followed by eventually by an S. And how many of these do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4 percents and 4 S's. And so percent means you're gonna jump you're gonna take a value that follows this comma. See, you have a string, you have like you see a string, right? The string is percent minus 15s, percent minus 18s, and it ends in \n. The \n means go to a new line. You have to manually do that. So you have this string, and then there's a comma, and then so that percent, there's 4 percents, and after that comma, there's 4 strings. The first string is length in inches, perimeter in inches, diameter in inches, and area in square inches. And so what happens is, for every one of these percents F, the first percent S is being replaced with length in inches. The second percent S is being replaced with perimeter in inches. The third percent S is being replaced with diameter in inches. And the fourth percent S is being replaced with area in square inches. And now what we're doing is, in between the percent and the F, we have some kind of command. And what we're saying is like that minus 15s, the minus means, and I had to look this up, it means, I don't know this by heart, it means left justify. You're going to say, we're going to print length in inches, we're going to take 15 spaces, and we're going to start on the left. And then, okay, so length in inches, so how many characters are in length in inches? It's 5, and then there's a space 6. And then the parentheses 7, IN is 9. And I think the length of that string, length, blank, parentheses, inches, I think that's 10 characters. And we're saying use 15 characters. So we'd print out length in inches and then follow it with 5 spaces. So altogether, so it says use at least 15 spaces. And then the next one, we see percent minus 18s. Okay, that's the second percent. We go to, that's the second percent S. Okay, now we go to perimeter in inches. And now we're saying, let's print out perimeter in inches. Again, minus means left justify, and we're going to use 18 spaces to print out perimeter in inches. And then this third percent S, we print out diameter in inches. We left justified because of this minus, and we're going to use 18 spaces. And the last percent S doesn't have any kind of special instructions, and I don't really need it because it's at the end. Okay, I guess you could left justify. Okay, and then we're going to just use an ordinary print line for the dashes, like the bar for the table. And now, so here, look at line 34. Do you see how you have percent Fs? F means print a double. So how many of these percents do we have? 1. In all the lines, we have 4 percents. Okay, so now following the so we start off in the printf, we have a string, which looks kind of filled with a bunch of weird characters like percent minus 15.2, total gibberish to anybody else, except computer scientists, we can read this. So we have this special language that no one else knows. So, okay, so, because now that we're computer scientists, we can read this. And eventually, it looks weird at first, but eventually we all get it. Okay, so you do it enough. Okay, so that first percent, there's a percent F, and in between there's minus 15.2. Oh, so we go to the first value after the comma, length 1. We're going to replace that first percent minus 15.2 F with length 1. And what it means is so length 1 is a number. We're going to use 15 spaces to print it out. We're going to left justify it. The 0.2 means 2 decimal places of accuracy. And if there's extra space, we're going to use 15 spaces. So if the number, let's say, takes 10 spaces, then we're going to pad it with 5 blanks. But we use at least 15 spaces. And the next two numbers, like the perimeter, like 4 times length 1, and then that, and then the diameter. Oh, the diameter math times 2 times. Oh, I have the wrong formula, students. It should be length 1 times. Okay. Okay, I should be taking the sum of the squares and the square root. Okay, well, okay, I can fix that. Okay, sorry about that. But then the diameter is, my formula for the diameter is not right. Okay, but that's not so important. Okay, so okay, so I got a little distracted by my arrow here. Okay, so the length 1 is printed in 15 spaces. Okay, then the perimeter, which is 4 times length 1, is printed in 18 spaces, and once again we use 2 decimal places of accuracy. And what should be the diameter, once again printed, that's the third, that corresponds to the third percent F. And then the last one, then the area, length times length, that corresponds to the very last percent. And when I go, notice there it says minus 1.2. It's going to take more than one. So what basically that 1.2 means is it says use at least 1 space, but take as many spaces as necessary, but use 2 decimal places of accuracy. Okay. Okay. So now the one thing I want to tell you, students, is if you want to, so in your program, you're reading the radius in as an integer. So integer is %d. So so let's actually just run this program, and then maybe we'll do another example where we're. And then where is my output? Okay, so students, you can put the cursor there if you want. And then so Richard had a question, which I'll answer in a minute. So let's say the length of the square is 30. I put some numbers in, and then put the cursor right there. Okay, and I probably actually want to put a blank line before the display. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, so that's fine. Display the length, perimeter area of each square. And so, okay, so now you see there's the header. Everything is left justified. Everything has 2 decimal places of accuracy, because that's in the program. I went 0.2. So before each F, I put 0.2. And I think if we actually counted, I think the first number was printed with 15 spaces. And I think if you count that 33.44, that's 5. 33, the decimal point takes 1 space, and 44 is 5. And okay, I'm not going to count right now, but I think the number of spaces between the 4 and the 1 here on that first line is 10. Okay. I just wanted to give an example of how to print a double. And then I print out the sum of the lengths, because what you're actually going to do is print out the average of the radii. So, so let's go. So one thing you might want to do is just try, what I suggest is you just try doing this for adding 1 more row here if you want. It's real easy. You just see, to add 1 more row, we just make sure you call this a different value. Okay, whoops. And then this might be a little bit of work. I've got to change all those. I'm doing something which you're never really supposed to cut and paste like I did, because it's very easy. It's easy to make a mistake and not. I make sure all those 3s are changed to 4, and it's easy to forget those when we copy and paste. So it's supposed to be one of the worst things you can do is copy and paste, but everybody does it, including me. And I make mistakes when I do it, so hopefully I've learned my lesson by now. And we want to add on the length down here. See, it's easy to add on, if we want to read in another length, right? Our program will now ask us for 4 of these. And so then I want to ask, so I'm just going to show you an example, right? I'll just make these. So once you've got, once you've got this, so my suggestion is get this working for one radius, and then you can easily add on 4 more. And since you can always send me your file if you need some help or make an appointment, I did wanted to show you one other thing, and that's how to read in, how to display, hopefully I can, how to display, an int is you use %d. Okay, so, why don't I just start a new file here? Is it okay to, I'm just gonna start a new file here, and hopefully I have to admit, I probably didn't review this as well as I should have. I do an example before class. I've done this enough, but I'll admit that I have, let's just call this display integer, display int, okay. Okay, so I can't quite read this because this zoom is in the way. So I could have public static void main args, and then, how do I make this go to the side here? Okay, that's better. And then, and let's see here, we're gonna, okay, we're gonna need this import. Again, the full name is, so scanner is like a special variable type that allows us to read data from the keyboard. And I probably mentioned that before. And it's a little weird. The full name is java.util.scanner. So that import allows us to use shorthand. So we declare a scanner variable, which is kind of advanced for so early in the course, but this allows us to read in data from the keyboard. So new scanner. And then in the parentheses, we put system in. And system in just means we're reading in from the keyboard. So maybe later on in the course, we'll learn to read it. If we can actually put an actual file, a path to a file in our computer and read the data in from a file. I might have, do I have the wrong? Yeah, I think I actually made a typo there. Maybe I used an uppercase I. Yeah, okay, so that was my fault. Okay, so so int x is equal to scanner. And now we're gonna have to go next int because it's an integer. And then I'm gonna say prompt the user for data. Just remember, it's easy. If it's our own code, we know we have to read something in, but even then it's easy to forget. Enter and int. Let's just put a print here. Now, hopefully this works. Okay, so now system.out.printf. Okay, so then you entered. I'm going to put a /n for new line there. So that /n prints a new line. You entered, and then I'm going to put a space. It'll print the space, and I'm going to put %d. And now I got to So to do integers, you have to use d. Which I know why d, why f for double. Wouldn't it make more sense that the double would be d? Okay, and then can I put the minus sign here? Let's see. Let's check. Does this complain? Okay, so that minus should mean left justified. Okay, which I think yeah. Okay, so let's let me try running this. Hopefully it all work out. Okay. Enter an int, like we go, and so put the 55. Okay, so it does not like my %d. So maybe it doesn't like my minus sign. Let me try this again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to, I thought this worked. Maybe it doesn't like the minus sign. You entered. Maybe it doesn't like the minus. Okay. I apologize, because I was just trying that tonight. Didn't verify before class, but this should work. Oh, wait a minute. No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you entered 33, so I can't have the minus sign with the D. Actually, I just learned about the minus sign for left justifying the other day. Okay, now I think I can put a number in here. So let's say let's just enter enter two integers, enter. Why is it? Oh yeah, you entered. We'll put the, now for every, I'm trying to, am I sharing the screen? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to print out the variable. See in that string, so it's a string, double quote, /n, you entered, %d. Okay, so that percent means that you print the first variable after the comma. And now we want to print out two variables. So I'm gonna print out I put another %d for the second. Let's see, can I put the number in here? Like take 10 spaces, and I probably should have checked this ahead of time. Let's just try this as an experiment. Okay, so let's see here. See if it complains now. But %d, the special character for int is definitely a d. I have to admit, I'm kind of experimenting here, students. So yeah, and see what happened there? You entered, and then it took 33. I'm going to learn how to do the left justifying for the integers. It didn't like it. I put the minus. Maybe if I put the minus in front of the 10. Let me try this. See what happens if you don't left justify, it automatically right justifies. I know it's all these rules, right? So if you looked at the output here, and actually what happened, I said, okay, print the first, take 10 spaces to print each number. And if you don't, and the default is right justify. Let me just try this one more time. Let's see if I can put the minus in front of it. If I follow it by a number, if it'll like it. I'm hoping, because otherwise, how do you, okay, so let's just see here, 33 and 45. Yeah, see, it liked it better. Okay, so yeah. So if you want to left justify an integer, you have to put the minus to the left of a number. Okay, so in this case, you see how it left justified? You entered, and now it put the 33 on the left, and it's taking 10 spaces to print the 33. Oh, what were you saying? Oh, I thought someone was talking to me. Okay, if I wanted to reduce the number of spaces that's going to print that first number, okay, let's just put 5 here. 33 is 2 spaces. So we're going to take 5 spaces to print 33, and we're going to left justify. Oh, 33. Yeah, so so now that 33 should be followed by, well, 33 takes 2 spaces, and I said take 5 spaces. So it should have been, that should be 3 spaces between the 33 and the 66. Okay, but the reason I'm showing this to you students is, and maybe I'll put this example up to how to display an integer, or combination of integers and doubles. Is it the special character? So the special, to print a string is %f. To print a string is %, you have to use S in the formatting. To print a double, you have to go F. And for an integer, you have to go D. That's pretty much all I really wanted to say here. Hopefully I didn't take too long. Does anybody, now if you have specific questions here, okay, why I can't even see you people anymore. What happened? Oh, there you go. Okay, I'm willing to go into a break. I don't want to show your code in the, if there's a lot of you, I don't want to show your code in the classroom. So you can either mail your code to me via email, or we can go into a breakout room. But Richard, I think you had a question, but does anybody else have a question? So I can go into a breakout room with you, Richard. And then if anyone else, you can either just come back, or let me just talk to Richard a little bit. If you want, you can come back, or just let me know you're coming back, or you can just send me your code via email. Don't hesitate, students, if you have a question though, could you please just actually send me the file, either cut and paste the file into your email, or actually attach your file, but don't send a picture, because then I'm just going to have to ask you for the code, because I want to be able to run your code on my computer. So if there are no other questions, I'm going to go into a break. You can actually stay. I can go. I think the breakout room gives us. I can talk to you privately. Never done this before, so okay. So sign. So I'm going to create a room, and I'm just going to put Richard in. If Richard's in trouble, he's in this. It's going to be. And I've never actually done this before, so I'm going to. Okay, oh no. Okay, so I'm going to just cancel. So delete. Okay, delete this. Okay, so how do I, oh, okay, so let's see here. So you're all in the, okay, oh, so how do I, so the only person now in this breakout, can you see the breakout room, Richard, or do I have to say open? No, okay, so, oh,
Host invited.
okay, so you're assigned to breakout room 1. Okay, so let me just, okay, so I'm going to join that room. Okay, so I think that, okay, so I'm going to stop this recording.